happened, Ted? What went wrong?
The oil pressure. I forgot to check the oil pressure. When Kramer hears about this, the shit's gonna hit the fan.
Wow, it's a beautiful day in South Carolina. Just came back from a little run, and the big question is, can an SHTF event actually happen? And you know it can. So, I like to consider myself to be a quasi-type prepper, very prudent. I don't think the world is going to end tomorrow, and I'm not ready to dig a bomb shelter in my backyard or store up on iodine tablets, thinking this is going to be a nuclear blast or an EMP attack. But I do want to be cautious and have different sources of alternate energy in case the grid goes down. So I'm not an electrician, I'm not an expert. I just built this system. I built it safely and efficiently and cost effectively. So yeah, that's about it. Let's go on to the video, and I'll show you what I did. Okay, this is the actual layout. You have your 3 charge controllers, a breaker box, an inverter, 2,500 watts, a battery monitor by Renology, 2 bus bars, and 3 batteries. 2 of them are 200 amp hours, and 1 is 100 amp hours. All of them are lithium ion phosphates and a shunt that goes with the battery monitor. So this is the layout. This is the actual setup in the garage. My whole solar setup right now, although I'm using it for basically backup, it's running my freezer over there, it's running my refrigerator, it's running my washing machine from a circuit that I'll show you that I put against the wall, and it's running my upstairs entertainment system through this circuit right here. So pretty good deal. I mean, it's a backup system, but it's still saving me some money. So I like that part. The wiring is kind of simple. You have this circuit box with a circuit breaker for each one, array A, B, and C. And the red wires just go to the charge controllers on one end of the circuit box, and the other end of the circuit box, the 3 hot lines go right to the bus bar going to the battery. So that's your positive. And all your negative lines coming from the charge controllers go right to a negative bus bar. That's right over here. Okay, so, and all the lines coming in, here is solar coming in, A, solar B, and solar C coming in. Okay, that line goes right to the PV terminals of each charge controller. And I also have this Victron charger. It's a 30 amp charger in case we get a whole shitload of cloudy days. Then I'll just charge it with my Victron. Okay, the inverter is a 2,500 watt inverter, and I showed you before I have the 200 amp hour 12 volt batteries and a 100 amp hour 12 volt batteries. 3 lithium ion phosphate batteries that do the job pretty well. Okay, and on the bottom here, I had a gel battery, and I didn't want to throw it away, so I managed to get a couple more on sale. I put 3 gel lead acid batteries together with a 1,000 watt inverter, and that's just backup. So I added another bus bar over here going to the lead acid batteries, a positive one and a negative one, all the way back here. It says lead on it. Now, I can just divert any one of the 3 charge controllers right to the lead acid battery bank. So I get a little more flexibility out of this. And I think I said before I have a Victron 30 amp charger. So if we get some dark, cloudy days, I have a little bit of a backup there. I can plug right into a generator. So I do use 2 generators. Oh, they're behind the bike here. And that's just for the backup. Hopefully I don't have to use them. And I'm going to show you just a little bit with these. I ran some lines here to right over the garage door, these handy little covers for number 12 extension cord. and I ran them behind the heater here, and I have my traffic light here. That's kind of ridiculous. And there's a solar outlet right here, and that powers a small refrigerator right here. And then I put another solar outlet right here, went over the door, and I put another one on the workbench, and that one runs my freezer. So I got three things running here in the garage, and then also underneath this bunch of shit here, there should be another outlet that, well, it's back there somewhere, that goes into the laundry room, and that one runs my washing machine. So, I mean, it's not saving too much money, but a few bucks here and there. Okay, I kind of like this deal here. I put a plug down here that I can plug my generators to, and right over the generator plug, there's a little box where I can access each leg to my circuit box here. Everything is labeled, and just for safety reasons, and I found this on the internet too. I mean, you can find almost anything. I put this interlock right here. So I'm running through, it's a 50 amp breaker that was supposed to be used for electric heating, an electric stove. And we're not using it, we have gas. So I would have to loosen these screws, turn the main power off, raise this bracket here so I can turn on my 50 amp breaker in order to run my generators. So here's my backup plan. I like this idea. I go right back here, and on my 2,500 watt inverter, it has three connections right here. So I made this heavy duty wire right here, okay, and I connect this wire right to these terminals here and run this. Oops, watch guys, you guys are gonna kill me. And run this right to my box here. So unfortunately, I can only run one leg at a time. Well, I could run both, but for safety reasons, I would run one, which means I cannot run 220, but I could run almost everything in the house, including the heat, exclude the dryer and the air conditioning, and it's okay. Like I said, we're just using it for a backup mostly. So that's the deal so far. All right, let me show you this outside setup. I have a little garbage pail enclosure here and 3 solar panels hanging fixed facing south on brackets that I purchased on the internet that can be adjusted, which is really beautiful. I have them, I don't know, 45, 50 degrees, and I have one hanging over the garage side door, which I was getting a little water in, and I decided to put that up there instead of a awning. So I have 4 100 watt panels here, which is solar array A. And if you come over here to the side, I have these kind of portable 200 watt right here for solar array B, and a 200 watt and a 100 watt for solar array C. Okay, each one, it's about $1 a watt. So I have 1,100 watts, it's about $1,100, 1.1 kilowatt. Now, most people are gonna say, why 3 solar arrays? Okay, why would you do that? Okay, I did it for a few reasons. I can move these ones on the side, I can move them anywhere I want. I can move them into the middle of the backyard so I can grab sun when the sun rises, and I can rotate them and move them along with the sun individually. I don't have to worry about shading. And also, I use number 12 wire. As you go further away from the charger controller, it's more expensive with the wire gauge, and copper wire is very expensive. Okay, originally I wanted to put my solar panels in the back here, okay, and it was about 100 feet to the backyard. Now I would have needed like number 2 gauge wire to get to the the charge controller. I'm sorry, and that would have ran a good price. That would have really been expensive. So anyway, this is number 12 gauge wire running inside the house from my solar panels, and these are fixed, and during an emergency I would move these to where the sun is brightest, and I think that's pretty good flexibility. Okay, here's my old broken down golf cart. I never played a day of golf in my whole life. It is now the most dependable dog cart in the neighborhood, and my two labs, they ride in it anytime they want. I put brand new batteries in it, 6 volt batteries, and that's just another energy source. Okay, so let's figure out what we can do with that. All right, let me get the dogs out here, see if they want to go for a cart ride. That's about all they know. All right, guys, come on, let's go for a cart ride. Let's go, up, up, come on, Case, let's go up. Okay, come on, girl, up, yeah, let's go. Okay, that's about all these guys know now is dog cart. And they know the word, go on the cart. So that's what it's good for. Okay, we're going to use it for something else too. I want to show you the golf cart slash dog cart has a few improvised features. So let me just take the seat off, and I'll take this cover off here. And there's a battery box. I'll show you a close-up right over here. And inside the battery box, I have a 1500 watt inverter. Okay, put it in a plastic bag. I just take a piece of wood here, put the wood there, and now I have a driving 1500 watt inverter connected to my golf cart, and I can probably run a refrigerator for a couple of days on this thing. So okay, this old golf cart has 6 interstate 6 volt batteries at 225 amp hours each. Okay, times that times 6, and you got 1,350 amp hours. That's at 6 volts. So we go in half again, and at 12 volts we have 675 amp hours. Okay, so unfortunately we have to half that again because we can only run lead acid batteries safely down to 50%. So that gives me a total of usable 337 amp hours out of this cart. I just want to give you a little comparison. This lithium ion phosphate battery, one of them is only 200 amp hours. It's $600, and this is a 200 amp hour cell. I have 2 of them right here. So we have over 300 amp hours just on the golf cart. So usable. So that's the difference. Yes, if I didn't mention, the inverter has a number 4 gauge wire going to a circuit breaker right here. And then that circuit breaker also acts as a shutoff. And that goes to the 1500 watt inverter. And this thing is pretty good. It was only about $150 off Amazon. Good deal. So I have an energy source on wheels. So that's good. And I get about, I don't know, 10% more power with the solar panels. You know, it doesn't completely charge them. But I can also charge this golf cart off my outside solar panels. Just pull the golf cart to the side and I can use those panels if I want. Okay, here are the 2 generators that I use. This big one is about 6,200 watts, and that'll run the whole house, excluding the air conditioner. And the small blue one is like, it's been an anchor around my leg. I can't get rid of it. I had it during Sandy when we had that whole flood. That was about 10 years ago, and my house was destroyed, and I was told I had to rip up demo the floor. So no power, so I managed to get this thing from Harbor Freight, and I I can't get rid of it. It's been with me since, you know. So I brought it down here to South Carolina, and it's a good mileage generator. You know, it's smaller, and so it's still with me. So we also have a gas caddy here. This is the Sunoco gas caddy, and it holds 30 gallons of fuel, and it's got a hand pump on it. So after about a year and a half of stabilized no ethanol fuel, I fill the car up and recycle the fuel. So as long as it's no ethanol and it's got stabilizer in it, I get about a year and a half, and the gas stays perfect. Also on this generator, there's a cord, and the cord is a 4-prong plug, and this plug has the other end that goes into my circuit box. Okay, under my circuit box, here's this is the receptacle. This is a Reliant PB30 receptacle, and I put a little box on top that I can hook my battery power in. I have 3 different sources of battery power, so either one. And here's the plug right here. And this end will go right into my 4-prong male receptacle. This is just how the battery input box would work. It is connected to the generator input box. All I would do is take this cover off, and there are 3 wires there, a white one, a red one, and a black one. And the red one would be connected to every single circuit breaker that has a red dot, which is one side of the circuit. And the black one would be connected to every other circuit that has a black dot on it. So I would run one side on batteries only. And the cable that I showed you before, right here, would just plug right into the black with the red wire, and plus the neutral. And this cable would be connected to the inverter in the whole solar setup. So this would be the battery option to use this top box up here. Here, take a look at this thing in action. Okay, this solar panel B is 221 watts, solar A 261, and solar C 150 watts. So I'm putting back into the system 300 watts while I'm running both refrigerators, I'm running the washing machine, and I'm charging the golf cart at the same time, and still putting back into the battery. Not bad. Oh, and just don't forget, these are only running circuits that I put in. If I tie this into the main circuit box, I could be running almost the whole house. Well, if you made it this far, I'd like to thank you for watching the video. There were no monetary incentives to making the video. I did not leave links to products, but everything was purchased on Amazon.com. And I had a lot of fun, and comments would be welcome, and maybe I'll make another one. Good project. Thank you.